Today I'm working on a Technics model number SA-939. This is a stereo unit. I wasn't going to work on this video today. I just pulled the cover off to get a part number for a future repair. And after a half a day of trying to search for the part, I decided to go another route. Stereo works just fine. Don't have an issue with its performance, except for the initial issue. And that is the display does not illuminate. Does not illuminate. I have no idea what illuminate is, but it don't do that neither. So the thought process was to open up the cover, pull the bulb out, because yes, even though it's an LCD display, it's backlit by a regular bulb. Matter of fact, that bulb right there. Now you can see it's just a normal, what's it called? Blade type. Not a blade type, but it, losing what it's called. Anyway, it's one of those. And unable to find a source on this. Now I can find several types like this, but not the exact size. Unable to find an exact source for that. I could find bulbs similar to that, but the size is a little goofy, and not really sure if I want to remount the back of the light holder and stick it in there. I'm hoping to reuse that rubber boot with the new light without having to put a lot of hot glue in there. So that brings me to my next alternative. I really didn't want to go with a LED source. I wanted to try to leave it all original. I don't know why, just wanted. But at the expense of spending upwards of $10 for a few lights, kind of hard to do. So my next thing was to grab some LEDs. I got some bright white LEDs, and I think that that's going to be the route I take. Now I did test it just briefly off camera. This batch of lights was not quite bright enough. This batch did a lot better job, but I still had some darknesses on the edge. But it would work just the same if I need to. The other thought was to take the batch of bulbs that not quite bright enough and put two of them in line, fan them out to illuminate the dial completely. So I'm not sure which route I'm going to go at the moment. I'm going to sample test. I know this is not the greatest shot in the world, but it's a shot just the same, dagnabbit. This is the area where the light bulb lives. Happily ever after until it blew its brains out. Capacitors are kind of cool. We've got another set just like them over there. When I open this up, I found these two lids just fluttering about. Not sure, but I'm thinking they went there. I have no idea where they live. Like I said, I do have these capacitors over here, which looks just like them, except for miniature. And you can see this one here is a Sharpay capacitor. Tell that by all the wrinkles. You could also tell that's got mighty warm. Now, I don't know if I'm going to service this section. I probably should, since I got it tore apart. This is a TV board. I really don't plan on using the TV with this. I never have. So I don't know if that was on its own accord or what. As I was saying, this stereo is going to be here in my office. It's going to be my workbench receiver. And it has front ports. And that's one reason why I picked this thing up. This was a secondhand store find. And I thought this would be fantastic to have on the workbench for testing purposes. I just plug a device under test, such as a tape deck or camera or whatever, into the front. And then I have sound without having to dig to the rear. So So that's why I'm saying that board, I may try unplugging it or just let it be and come back to it another day when I have time. Too many other projects going on at the moment. For those that are wondering, here is the power amplifier this unit has. I do believe this is a 40 watt, 50 watt amplifier. I don't remember, but you being the geek you are, you'll punch that up and you'll find out right quickly what it is. Alright, so let me go ahead and figure out what's going on with the card. I'm going to get the LED and a 30 ohm resistor, and we'll see what happens. I have the LED tacked in outside the case. Really want to keep that boot in there, but man, I really don't know how it's going to play out. I may just keep it on in line but not use it. I might have to tape the light in there. Ohm's law says a 30 ohm resistor would work. However, playing with one of these things, I found that between 22 and 100 it really didn't make much of a difference. However, at 10 I blew the LED out. So I stuck a 43 in there for no other reason, because I could. I have all these values. I don't know why I did. Goofy number. Let me turn one of my overheads off. And that really didn't help too much, but as you can see, that bright white light has a blue tint to it. I have that paper towel there just kind of as a barrier from the transformer. Now I do have this on the isolation transformer, but just as a first line of protection, because I have been known to accidentally stick my fingers where they don't belong. Go ahead and put that back. In case you're wondering, that's that 4 layers of paper towels. So definitely Cal OSHA approved. And there you could see the light shining like a beacon of light. Okay, I was making that up as I went. So let's go ahead and see if we could stick it in the hole and see if we can get that to illuminate and see what happens. Now I did want to mention that coming out of here is 12.5 volts AC. Oh, Jesus. And I can tell you right now that resistor is not going to work. That resistor is mighty hot right now. So let me go ahead and kill this and regroup. That is a 1/2 watt resistor. Ohm's law, I guess I need to go back and finish reading it, because I'm sure it probably told me what wattage I needed to run with this as well. One thing I did do, I was thinking about the light bulb and the type it was. I was thinking about my Automo bubbles and the type they use, so I ran out to the garage and dug one out. This is for my truck. This is for the overhead lights, cab lights. And so I thought I was going to be able to use this, but that don't fit through the hole very well. You see, just a little too big. Now I could forcefully ram it in there, ream the hole out. That would work. And I may do that too. Tried to remove the plate that was out, that the light fits into. Thing is I don't have the screw, the bit to take the screw out. It's not a typical Phillips or flat. So back to regrouping. And honestly, if I did that, so I was just talking about sticking my fingers where, if that wasn't on there, I would have been touching that transformer. I know you can't see it in your location, but if I was to ream this completely out for that to fit, that would probably work. But it's really, really thin sheet metal there. And to get a stepper bit or a drill bit in there, I might do more damage than good. I might twist and contort. And then there's the whole thing of the shavings. So let me think. I don't have any resistors bigger than this. True, I can double up to give me the wattage. And that thing is still really warm. That'd give me the wattage, but then I'd have this big gangle of junk. I could order a big resistor and have it dangle in here. But maybe what I might do is go down to my auto parts store and see if they have something about the same size at the voltage I need. That might be the wisest choice in this situation. After giving a good long thinking of what to do, so I decided to go ahead and ditch this idea and ditch the idea of putting a big fat resistor back here. Even though I would have the room, it would dangle about and get all up into the power supply, and I decided not to. That would just look too tacky and probably wouldn't be too safe, secure. So today I went down to local auto parts store and went through to find a match. Oops. Guess I should get it in the camera so everybody could see. And these are my closest match. This one right here, number 168, is 14 volts at 4.9 watts. And as you can see, maybe you could see, maybe you don't want to see, the body is just a little smaller, but it would work. These ones right here are 13.5 volts at 5 watts, and that's a little smaller, but I'm going to try these ones first because our working voltage is 12.5 volts. We got 13.5 volts here, so we automatically know the light is not going to be as bright as peak performance, and the story would be the same true here as well, but not what will be even less brighter. Sorry about that, stumbling over my own words. Let's go ahead and remove this mess. I got the iron fired up. And yes, you'll notice a different iron. And that is because my paste was working one day and the next it's not. So I need to tear it apart and find out why. This this pin, I've had since the 80s. It's a no-name brand. Bought it at Marvax Electronics, and I bought maybe half a dozen tips for that as well. Still the original tip from day one. They're all nice and pointy like that. I don't know why I didn't buy different types. It's good solid pin. But let me tell you, I missed my pace something fierce. That will be my next project. Of course, since I don't demo my videos in a chronological order as I film them, meaning I don't film them today and then tomorrow I post. I could film today and in 6 months I'll post. So that project may or may not be posted before this one is posted. I've got projects from 3 years ago that I have not posted yet. One day I will, when I have time. Alright, so we're going to go with the smaller of the two. Which is these ones right here. Okay, so on this bulb, you see how the legs on this are protruding out? This one is not. They are I believe that's taped backwards, or that's plastic. Let me get my bionic eye. Okay. Well, that's pretty easy. Problem solved. All they were bent over. So that is awesome. Sorry, I need my bionic eye. Even though I had the eye surgery and it's worked out wonderful, I'm still not 100%, and I'll never be 100%. Okay. So solder's not sticking to that, so I'm going to have to do a J-hook or something. Let me do this off camera so I don't waste your time. Here is the solution I came up with. This is a good reason why you want to keep your old leads from your resistors, capacitors, you know, the stuff you snip off. And then save them. Use them for little projects like this. So all I've done was had taken those, did a J-hook, twisted, and when I twisted this wire here to tighten it down, it also took this wire here and twisted it about. So I have a full turn knot up at the top. That way the wire would not be allowed to slide back down, and it would also give the solder something to sort of stick to up underneath and around that knot. I had taken some flux and put some drops down there. When I did, it came out a little fast, so it came out in a big squirt and got that stuff all over my hands and all over the light bulb, and it was sticky and it's just horrible. And you can see that haze on the bulb right now. So next thing I need to do is come back in with some isopropyl alcohol, clean this all up, and then we'll put this in line and we'll see how good the light works. I haven't even tried it in the hole, to tell you the truth. Got that all cleaned up, and I went ahead and tinned the opposite end of the lead. So the next thing I want to do is just do a quick test. We're going to tack that in here, and we'll fire up the radio, make sure that yes, this does work, and then we'll stick it in the hole and see how well it illuminates. So with all that said, let me do just that. I'm going to change my light on you so I could see. Okay. Get the short one first. We need my bionic eye so I could see, but if I moved it, it would be in your way. Okay. Let's go ahead and kill said bionic eyeball. Let's get this propped up a little bit so you could see. Maybe. Gonna turn on the isolation transformer, and now let's hit the big red switch. No, it's because we're not plugged in the rear here. Something I try to do is unplug it for extra safety. There. Alright, here we go. Hey, that worked. Stick it here in the hole. Cool. Cool. That's awesome. Can't see it in the front panel. Oh yeah, that's even better. I was looking at it in the camera monitor, but wow, that is awesome. All right, let's go ahead and clean this up, and we'll hopefully have a nice looking display when we come back in the next scene. But what I want to do, I want to take the opportunity here to show you what I'm working with. So you can see the thin metal, how easy that would be to twist, and all the metal shavings would get down there. And so the light bulb will go in as such. And just in case you didn't see it, let me point it out to you. That's a transformer, and that's why I put the paper towel over that. That way I don't get a perm. Alright, let me finish this, clean this up, and then I'll bring you back. Have it all pieced back together there, as you can see. I think when I was pushing the bulb down into the rubber jacket here, I think one of my wires might have come undone. I'm really not sure. I'm going to leave it as is and be surprised when we plug it in and test it out. But I wanted to show you what it looks like assembled. Alright, it's obvious that I repositioned the camera because I went real silent, right? Right. Got it plugged in. This is turned off. Let's hit the big red switch up here. And the moment nobody's been waiting for, will it or will it not work? That's awesome. That's nice and bright. I was worried with the LEDs that the fall off on the edges would be too much, but man, this is working out awesome. I like that. That is nice and bright. I know in the camera it's showing that it's really, really illuminated, but it's not as bright as the camera's making it out to. Bring it down about 20%, and probably about where you're at in real life. But that's pretty awesome. I mean, it is bright. You're going to see that across the room. That's no doubt about that. It does look like over here I do have a little edge fall off, but I'm probably going to be okay with that. I don't know if there's anything that populates in that field, since this is a new deck to me, and of course when I got it I had no display, so I couldn't see what was there. So you're seeing this for the first time as I am. So that's awesome. Let me get it pieced back together. Maybe I'll throw some speakers on it, or maybe not. We'll see. I'll be back. Have it all reassembled. I've got two vintage realistic speakers flanking each side, and I have a vintage realistic tape deck on top because I thought it would be cool. Got it plugged into my isolation transformer. I'm now going to hit the big red switch, and now I'm going to hit this little silver switch. Let me turn my forward light off. And now I hit the switch. Pretty cool. And now I will try to figure out volume. This is really a cool deck, this head unit. When the lights... Of course, you know I can't play that as long as I'd like. As you saw, we had a volume meter as well as signal strength amplifier meter. And it's really driving those speakers really well. This is a really cool deck. It has a remote control, which I do have over there behind me where I can't reach it. Alright, I don't know why that came up on its own. Maybe it has goats. Been here hoping maybe it'll do it again. We'll capture it again. Of course, right now I'm just pushing buttons. There we go. Guess I don't like my wire.
From police officers.
All she knew is her taser didn't work and didn't know why, and frankly we didn't know why, and then lo and behold, you know, here it was right in front of us. It didn't work because it was designed to be underpowered.
That's next on Reveal from the Center for Investigative Reporting and PRX.
Not only did I have to turn the commercial music off for obvious reasons, I had to turn the light on so I could see what it is I'm doing. I don't know this deck well enough to figure it out. If you spot the button, let me know. Oh, here we go. This is what I want right here. Okay, obviously that is not the button I wanted. Okay, we're going to do a take two on that. I put the cord to the line in and not the line out. So let's try that one more time. Did want to say that I have seen these units for sale kind of cheap, with the declaration, you know, parts broke and whatnot, or, you know, it works, but the display being burnt out. So now that we've seen how easy it was to replace this, definitely if this is of an interest to you, if you can get one cheap, by all means grab it. And like I said, it is remote control. 40 watts, I think, 50 watts. I don't really know. For me, it's going to be plenty loud enough. This is going to be, as I stated earlier, on the workbench. I have my front ports right here. And that's one reason why I went ahead and went with this one, as opposed to the other one that was going to be up there. Plus, as stated, the remote control, so I could sit down here at my workbench and just, you know, do what I need to from the workbench without having to get up and pushing buttons. Because where this is going to sit, top shelf up there, it's kind of out of reach from comfortability. Kind of have to sort of halfway stand. So I'm going to dig this. Alright, well, I think we've ran this to the end as far as we're going to go. Or in other words, I think we've milked this video, how to change a light bulb video, for as long as we could. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. I hope you've learned something. Hope it'll help you fix your Technics SA-939 or similar deck. Catch you guys later. Thanks for watching.